Yo, what's up, what's up? Thank you for tuning in to another flight on today. Today we're going to be flying from Vegas on over to Colorado Springs. So it should be a really good flight. I already have everything set up and ready to go. I figured on this flight, instead of doing the typical flight setup like I normally do, I'm just gonna go ahead and get in takeoff here. So should be a lot of fun. Should be a good flight on today. So let's get her done. So we'll hop in the cockpit here. We'll get out of Dodge. Beautiful morning out here in Las Vegas. I flew to Las Vegas from LA last night, so now it's time to go ahead and head on over to Colorado Springs. So I'm gonna go ahead and get out of Dodge here. We won't take a lot of time setting up on today, so we'll go ahead and get out of Dodge. So we got auto throttle set. We're gonna get out of Dodge. This is much better, I'm sure, from a viewing experience perspective of not watching me set the whole plane up. So there's V1. We'll go ahead and rotate it on back. Gear up. Beautiful morning takeoff here. Start making a slight left turn. Auto throttle on with this beautiful morning, man. We're climbing out here in Vegas. All right, at this point, we'll go ahead and engage our our autopilot. Make sure the throttle's in the right position. We're good. Nice little view of, wow, check out how beautiful this is. Jeez. Wow. I mean, this is one thing that I've talked about before in the simulator, is just how amazing the weather system is in this journey. I mean, we are flying in and out of the flying in and out of these cloud layers. I mean, it just looks freaking amazing. We can go flaps up now. We were going to start in initial climb at 10,000, but I'm just going to go up to our cruise altitude of 310 on today. All right, so we'll keep climbing up. As you can see, there is the airport over to the left where we just took off from. Down there, maybe a quick outside view of that. There's the airport. Beautiful. You can see Las Vegas down here. We're climbing out, man. This looks so good this morning. So beautiful. There again, there's a couple flights there. Southwest 783. We can see where Southwest 783 is going today. Didn't mean to make that full screen, but they're going to Oakland, so they're scheduled to leave here pretty soon. 6:17. They might be a little late, but they're headed to Oakland, so that's pretty cool. All right, so we'll keep climbing out here. We're getting up nice. We're looking great. I like our speeds. I like where we are. We're looking good. So in-time flight today, it's about an hour and 44 minutes altogether. We'll go ahead and turn the chronos on. We'll say we're maybe 4 minutes. We'll add 4 minutes. Got to turn the chronos on. But wow, look at this. This looks amazing out here as we're climbing out this morning. Headed on over to Colorado Springs. Probably hit a little bit of turbulence as we climb through these clouds here. We are looking good. We're tracking well. I just love, like, watch. In a minute here, we're gonna come through the clouds, and you're gonna see what I'm talking about in terms of just how amazing the weather system is here and things. Like, I can still see a little bit of the ground, but once we come through these clouds, you'll see how, like, this cloud layer just disappear. I mean, it just looks so crazy, you know. And for me, like, flight simming all these years and stuff like that, it just makes it look even more ridiculous because I know what it's I know how things were previous. So I have yet to figure out the autopilot on this A320. I know how it's supposed to work in theory, and I think a part of it is I'm not setting the plane up like from scratch, right? I mean, I'm using the because one thing with X-Plane is it just takes so long to get off of the ground, and I think that Flight Simulator, you see as we come through these clouds, just how sweet this is. It's so cool. In a minute, we're gonna break through. We'll be right on top of them, and we'll be right back in the clear skies here shortly. But one thing with X-Plane is, I mean, it just takes so long to get off of the ground. You know, that's just the one thing, because of the flight plan, you're putting this in, you're putting that in, going to sim brief. So I do like the fact of, I do like having I really do like having the option to man, I can't remember what I was about to say. My mind is, it's crazy. But boom, look at that. You see that? So beautiful, man. Climbing over these clouds like that. Let me look at the external view real quick. Get that to you. It's beautiful. Now we have a plane out here, American Airlines 1542. And again, as I mentioned before, all of these flights that you see, all of these nameplates, and this guy over here, these are real world flights that are happening right now in the world. So it's pretty awesome how the simulator can pull that information in. Let's see where these guys are going. This is American Airlines 1542. They are headed to, they are going to Chicago. So we'll bring that over on the screen too. Hopefully, I was going to say, hopefully it doesn't full screen, but it did. But these folks are going to Chicago. So American Airlines 1542, they just left a little while ago. They left Las Vegas at 6:31. They left 4 minutes early. The time right now is, I may have paused it, but it is 7 o'clock. So they it's 7 o'clock right now, so they got a little bit to go, but they're heading over to Chicago. As you can see, they'll get there 14 minutes early. Pretty awesome. It's a 737-800, and they're going 619 miles per hour. They're climbing to an altitude of 35,000. So that's so cool, man. I just love that you can see that like that, you know. It's pretty amazing. So they are headed out. And this morning, I'm just getting really great performance. Not really sure why, but this thing is really, sim is really operating wonderfully. Look at, oh, I just wish I could take a picture of how beautiful this is, man. Can I do that? I wonder if I do like a print screen or something, if it'll take a screenshot for me. Wow. It's beautiful. Alright, we'll go back in the cockpit. We do have that flight in front of us that we can see, so that's nice. And for now, we're just going to keep going up. We're both climbing. You know, he's climbing a little more than I am. He's way, I mean, you know, I can see him, but he's far enough. We have enough separation where this is legal and this is okay. But let's check our checklist.
Seatbelt signs.
Alright. We'll go ahead and kick those seatbelt signs off here in just a moment. We still got about 4,000 feet left on our climb. These guys just must have took off right before us. But like I say, they're going higher than what we are, so there's no issues at all. We're climbing out nicely. Beautiful morning here in Las Vegas. What's up, MD10? Thanks for tuning in on today. As always, I should get my cam on. I feel like I look crazy though. Nah, I ain't even gonna turn the cam on today. Just keep it like this, but yeah, so those guys are, that flight is going, heading where they're heading, so. Alright, just a couple more 1,000 feet up, and we'll be at our cruise altitude. Then what we'll do, we'll kick the seatbelt signs off. We can actually disarm the spoilers too. We'll do that in a moment. Isn't it? It is so beautiful. That's what I'm saying. It's just so nice. So nice out there this morning. And again, I'm on live weather, live air traffic control. Live air traffic. So I mean, this is what you'll see. So we got those engines dialing back as we get ready to come to our cruise altitude here. We're leveling off here, so once we get leveled off, I'm also going to speed up a little bit. Again, I'm still trying to learn this FMC and things, but I feel like it kind of keeps us a little slow. So that'll be cool. So we'll go ahead and kick off our seatbelt signs now. Let folks move about the cockpit as they see fit. We're good. All right, let's hit for our checklist. See our engines dialing back to our cruise power. So we are looking good. Now, I am going to throw this back into our climb notch because I want to doing a speed up just a little bit. So we're going to take this up to Mach 81. Oh, I'm tripping. So we should see the plane really start to accelerate here. We'll just do this. Make sure we get a lot of, make up for a little bit of lost time getting out of Vegas. So I think we'll come down to 80. And we'll just leave it like that. So let's get another quick outside views. Clouds look amazing today. Man, so nice. Look at those clouds, man. The simulator is really, really amazing. So beautiful this morning. The Delta November 320 Delta Lima. We are Delta 922 on today. Again, we're not on network, so we don't have air traffic control on or anything. I just like to get up and fly sometimes. Sometimes you just want to get up and not worry about all the to-do with air traffic control and that. So I was hoping to get some city plates out here or something so we can see where we are, but I don't see any tags or anything like that. So it's such a beautiful flight. So I was reading yesterday and I saw that they just came out with a, or not just maybe, but that they came out with the 747 mod here. So I think today, tomorrow, sometime this week, I think I'm gonna just hop in the 747 and try to learn it a little bit more. Again, I have been flying the 737 for probably 9 years at this point, and so it's a little different coming from that plane to this Airbus plane. I mean, it really is. It's amazing how different, how similar the planes look, in design, but how crazy, how different they are in performance and systems and all of that stuff. I mean, it really is a huge difference. I think the biggest difference is the FMC, or the flight management computer, and the wow, check that out. The flight management computer and the autopilot. I just think it just takes some getting used to. It's not as straightforward. I just feel like the 737 just makes sense. Like entering your altitude, entering your speed. You can make changes on the fly. I'm not 100% sure how to make changes on the fly in the FMC in the A320. I can go direct places, but if I wanted to like change the altitude, or I don't know, I find myself in autopilot, but oftentimes I'm not really in the managed modes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they are beautiful planes. And the 747 has been around since, I don't know, the 70s, maybe the 60s, and we've seen like variations of it. Obviously, technology's gotten better, so forth and so on. But it is interesting though how when you hop in the 747, like if you come from a 787, even the 737 NGX, like the next gen, any of that, or the Max. It's just interesting. Like when you hop into 747, it does feel old. It does feel like antiquated a bit, but it's a really good plane to fly. So we're trudging through. What I'm going to do right now is just chill. We have quite a bit of a flight left here. We're only about, +4. So we're only about 20 minutes into a flight that will take us a couple hours. I would say gate to gate, it's probably around 2 hours. In flight time, we're looking at 1 hour and 44. So right now, we're just going to chill, relax, maybe do some external views, do some different views and things as we're cruising out. Sometimes people ask me, like, why do you fly Delta? And I don't know. I started flying it. I joined the Delta Virtual Airlines, and I think that's what really enhanced my thing. Like if you're new to flight simulations, things like that, one of the things that makes it quite amazing, similar to sim racing. Like I'm into sim racing, thinking about building another rig here pretty soon. You all might imagine from my other channel or from my other videos, which I've kind of taken my channel and made it all about flight simulation and stuff like that. But I think in a moment I'm gonna come back and put my sim racing stuff up here too on the channel. Kind of get into that a little bit more. But one thing about the simulation, community, the one thing about simulators or all this thing is the community. There's such a community around this. And like I said, I joined Delta Virtual Airlines, which has been like super sweet. And if I can get logged in, it's been a couple months since I logged in to the DVA. Hopefully they haven't. Hopefully I'm still on, but joining the virtual airline was one of the best things for the flight sim, because again, this whole thing is about community, and it's interesting how much of a community there is with like flight simming. Like you hop on Facebook, you get these Facebook groups. I mean, people are talking about this sim, people are updating. You know, it's awesome. I love. You know, I've been flight simming here for probably um I don't know how long it's been at this point. It's probably been 10, 11, 12 years. And so it's so amazing to see like people be so excited about flight, like the flight simulator. Like it really is, you know. Um, I was reading a story the other day where an individual was posting and talking about how um, was talking about the amount of money that this flight simulator has generated, like over the year, over with this release. It says something like $2.3 billion, billion with a B, $2.3 billion in software. I'm sorry, hardware. People going out and buying HoneyComb Alpha, so forth and so on. So it's really it's really a dope thing. I'll have to give a tour one day of like my setup and all of those types of things. I do use the HoneyComb Alpha. Um, I do use the HoneyComb Alpha. So if you don't know what that is, hopefully I can try to get a picture of it. Maybe I'll see if I can uh, pull up my webcam. Oh, wasn't expecting that to be so big. I will show you later. Be a little discombobulated trying to get it down right now, but $2.3 billion in hardware sales, people buying yokes and rudder pedals, and it's just so amazing to see the support behind this simulator and the simulation community in general. Like sometimes people don't get it. People ask me all the time, like, what the heck are you talking about? Like if I tell people like, yo, yeah, I fly, I know a lot about aviation, blah blah blah. Like they just don't understand. But it's so cool to be in a part of a community, where people do understand. Like they get it. It makes sense. So, well, sit back, relax, enjoy the flight. I'll be back a little bit closer to descent and our landing. But we still got about an hour left of flying. I would say we probably won't be touching down here. Well, probably until an hour. We are going a little bit faster than we normally would go. But for right now, we're just chilling out, hanging out. We got to think about starting our descent. I do want to look at just a couple things here. Uh, 8700. Alright, so by flood, we want to be around 15,000. So right now, we're just going to chill, relax. Hang out a little bit. So we're about to make this right turn here toward flood. I'm going to start descending here in just a moment. So I'm going to go ahead and kick on these seatbelt signs here in just a second. Okay. Alright. So we're making our right turn toward flood here. What we're gonna do too is we're about at 80 nautical miles. We're gonna pull our speed back just a little bit. We'll come back to like 0.78. And then again, our autopilot is kind of weird on this thing, so we're going to come down to 15,000. We're going to start our descent. Seatbelt signs are on. And we'll go ahead and start descending. So we'll see the engines kind of dial back a little bit, and then oh no, I did it. There we go. So engines will start dialing back. We'll start our descent into Colorado Springs. Man, should be a Should be a pretty good arrival in on today. Like I said, I thought we were looking at around an hour and 44 minutes for the flight. So actually, it looks like we might come in a little bit sooner than that. And I was going a lot faster, but I would say we're about an hour, and I would say we're probably 35 minutes to landing. So, but for now, we're just going to chill, relax. We have we're starting our descent down to 15,000. From there, and it might be a good idea to just pull up the charts because, well, I know runway elevation, but might be a good idea to pull up the charts just to make sure. But so we're descending nicely. We get a nice outside view of our Delta plane, November 320 Delta Lima, and again, we're Delta 922 on today. Looks so nice outside. Beautiful morning for a flight. We're coming over the mountains in out in Colorado area. As you can see, we're in our descent right now. It's really a great day for a flight. It really is. All right. So we'll be right on point. So we'll get to 15,000, probably about 40 nautical miles to spare, which is not bad. So as I'm descending, we're also going to slow way down right quick. This particular flight path is going to take us right by the mountains, which is interesting. Oh, interesting. Internet connection dropped. Huh. Maybe in the sim. Well, anyway, still coming down a little bit. So I like that. Quick external view, just flying by the mountains, man, probably be kind of cool. Really nice. All right, so from here, we're going to make a left turn. So from flood, we just got to take, this thing is all jacked up. I don't even like how it looks. I don't know what this is, 48 something, whatever. But our next down will be 9500. So once we clear this little mountain range here, we'll make a left turn, and we can start our next descent on down. After we get the flood, though, once we pass flood, we'll come down to 9,000, and then from there we'll continue in with our descent. Thanks, sure, yeah, it does. It looks really, 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 really nice. So, all right, let's go ahead, bring our speed back just a little bit more. I've never flown into Colorado Springs before, so I want to take this approach a little bit slow, take my time with it. Again, another quick outside view, coming over the mountains. Check out how beautiful that is. So nice. All right, so we're over those mountains now. As you can see, we're kind of clear. We can start our next descent here shortly. We do want to get the flood here, which is going to be about 20 nautical miles away, and then from there we can. Flood's about 35 nautical miles away, and then from there we will we'll continue on with our approach. So again, we still got a little bit of time. I would say about 20-30 minutes. Like I said, this flight was supposed to take an hour and 44 minutes. So we're currently at about an hour and 4 minutes right now. So we still got a little bit of time before we get down. But we're just, we're working it out. Let's pull up our checklist, descent checklist. All that's looking good. We're not going to do an ILS approach today. We'll do a visual approach on down to the runway. So that'll be nice. But we're very, very close. I think made up for really good time. We'll go ahead and speed it back up just a little bit. We do want to make good time getting into Colorado Springs. Now, one thing about this plane, I feel like it just gets up to speed, man. Like once you select it versus the 737, but once you select it, it's like, boom, look how fast it's getting up to speed here. So it's pretty cool. We definitely will turn our terrain radar on. That's going to be very important as we're coming in here. But we're looking good. We're at 15,000. We'll be at 15,000 at flood. We'll bring it on down to 9 after we get there, and we'll be good to go. Alright, so a quick briefing here before we get ready to finish our descent. And we're going to be landing runway 27, runway 17, 17 left. All right. So yeah, so we're landing runway 17 left. And we stay above 15,000. Cross this little ridge line here, and then we'll drop one in, and we'll be landing here pretty soon. So. I don't know what the temperature is in Colorado Springs. Let's get the ATIS information for Colorado Springs. Wind is 261 at 8. Wind is 261 at 8. So, alright. So we have clearance to land in Colorado Springs, so that's good. You can see our depicted flight path here. Basically, we're going to make a left at flood. We'll take this around, and we'll kind of make a little loop to get lined up with the runway. So we'll be, you know, as you can see, we're out of those mountains, over those ridge lines. So what we'll do at this point is we're going to start our descent, though. So. See the engine start dialing back a little bit, and then we'll see our vert speed indicators start coming down. You'll see the nose start coming down, and we're making our descent here into Colorado Springs. Quick little outside view here. Out the window, looks amazing. This is Fremont County, so if you're from that area of the world, you know what Fremont County Airport is, then that's where we are right there. Cockpit. Alright, we'll probably stay in the cockpit for the remainder of the flight here. Now, gotta really be on point because as you can see, we have some mountains and stuff out here. So with our approach, it's really important to be on point because miss anything, you know, you're getting into these areas over here, which is something that you don't want to see. So. It's nice to have it up. Whoa. So we'll go ahead and pull a speed back. That's just a little speed indicator. It's going a little bit too fast on our descent. So to get a little more view out there, I think I can see the field. I can see the airport from back here already, which is nice. Such a beautiful flight, such a beautiful day to fly in today. Just taking a look at some of those checklists there. I really should bring up the chart. I am. I'm going to bring up the charts for if it loads. Oop. I'm going to bring up the charts for Colorado. Just because I want to be on point with what I'm doing here and not jack anything up. So. See charts. All right, let's look at this joint here. All right, so we'll pull up our charts for Colorado Springs. We are coming in on the Derby 3 arrival. D-Berry 3, I should say. Okay. But just like to check and see. They're saying glide slope at 8,700. Which our 8,700 is ASRock. So what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to keep it at 8,700. And are we descending from there? ASRock on down. Yeah. So what we'll do is after Noob C. Trying to think if I want to engage managed altitude. Well, I don't know if I should trust it. We'll go 8,700. And we'll just maintain that right now. We'll just come down. Little cloud layer here. Hopefully this little, I was gonna say, hopefully we come through these clouds. I think we will. I think we'll be low enough per the ATIS to get down and do what we need to do. So but for right now, we're just cruising it in. We're gonna take our time, get in and get down. I'd love to put this on the ground. Absolutely love to have a nice landing today. So if we look back to our left, we should see the airport over there. I'm surprised there's not a tag, but we're gonna basically make a loop around and come back and land over at the airport there. So. Real careful with this, with the altitude out here, just because get little mountains, get little hills and stuff out here. So we want to make sure that we're clear. Really watching this terrain radar to make sure we're okay. But we don't want to descend anymore before ASRock. We actually, we're actually probably should be a little bit higher, but it's okay. There's Colorado Springs East. We're going to start making a left turn here. This should be a really nice approach. I mean, it's a nice day. I think we're going to get lined up real nice. So we're going to try to put her down. See what we can do. Around some more. Gotta watch this terrain over here that we're coming to. As you can see. Again, what did I call? I called for an hour and 44. So we'll see where we are when we hit the ground here, where we got to do a 117 plus 4. So we're at about an hour and 21 minutes from takeoff right now. So I mean, you know, we made good time. I did speed it up a little bit. All right, at this point, we're gonna slow. Slow down to about 225. That's just right before flaps 1. See the airport over there. So we are looking good. All right, we'll turn that off. Monitor our terrain on this side. And at this point, we'll come on down to 195. We will bring in flaps 1. Let's come on down a little bit more. And we'll do flaps 2. Can't get the field in sight. It's interesting that there's not a lot more planes taking off. And once we make this turn here, we'll do flaps 3. We'll slow down a little bit more. We'll kick out our landing gear. Alright, we'll go flaps 3. See those extending a little bit. We're gonna make a left turn. We're at 1,000 feet. And we're gonna get lined up here. We'll go ahead and kick those landing gear out. Now we'll go full flaps. See those flaps coming down a bit, and we'll go in the cockpit. All right. And once we hit ASRock, I'm gonna try to use the FMC to come on down, but we'll see. All right, so I'm back in managed altitude mode. We'll see if this works out. All right, cool. So it is bringing us down nicely. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and turn off the autopilot. So this airplane is mine now. We'll just continue to descend on down. We do have auto throttle is still on, but we're going to turn that off in just a second. 1,000. Got a plane taking off in front of us, so we'll caution wake turbulence there. We'll look out for that. We are looking great. I'm gonna go ahead and turn the auto throttle off now. plane is completely mine at this point.
500.
It's 500. 400. Whoa. Again, maybe a little wake turbulence from the plane that just took off there. 300. Oh boy.
200.
100.
60. 50.
Oh, I'm early.
30. 20.
Oh, it's not too bad.
Retard. 5.
Ooh. That's a little getting down. It's a little early to put our reverse thrusters on. Ooh, okay. Well, hey, like we got it down. Not the smoothest landing, but not terrible, to be quite honest. Not terrible at all. All right, so we'll get off the runway here. We'll head over to the gates. Not a bad landing. I mean, not terrible. A little low, but it's funny because sometimes I'm a little high. So it's like, yo, try to come in a little bit lower that time, but it wasn't too terrible. Was not too terrible. We got it down, so that's all that matters. We are here in Colorado Springs. My first time flying into this airport, so kind of cool. It's very, very challenging when you're flying into these new airports because, I mean, just not familiar with it. So we'll taxi on down to the gate. That was not a bad landing at all. I have to go back and take a look at that. And there we go. City of Colorado Springs Municipal. This taxiway is a little bumpy. Let's do a quick outside view. Of our taxi. The field looks nice. The field looks real good. And I had a lot more runway. I don't know why I was just overthinking it a little bit. Got another jetliner here, but of course you're gonna see a lot more. You see a lot of general aviation planes here, especially with the size of the airport. We'll go ahead and kick our flaps up. It's probably pretty rare for a plane this size to land here actually, but we do have another one out here, so that's kind of cool. Go down a little bit more. We'll make this right turn. We'll go to the second stall here. Get parked. All right. There we go. So we made it successfully. We'll go ahead and get everything shut down, get ready for our next flight. Thanks so much for tuning in and rocking with me. Hit that like and or subscribe button if you like. And we'll see you on the next one.